getting back to basketball here, what's going on the court. Let's start in the Western Conference. Listen, the Clippers is my favorite team to win this whole thing, right? To win it all. But a lot of talented teams in the Western Conference that I think could give them a run for their money. One of them is Houston, in my opinion. The Warriors are still around. I know they don't look the same as they did last season, but I still think that there's something there. I still think these guys got a lot to play for.
Portland's going to make some noise.
Portland's going to make some noise. And then you got the Lakers.
Well, even better than them as a team, I think one of the most dangerous teams nobody talks about is Denver.
Denver's a good one.
Denver had a great year, and Jokic was, he
could be an MVP this year.
That's right. He was an MVP. They had great guard play. That's a team right now, and they get you in that up in that mile high environment. Everybody says, "Well, it's only a mirage." It's only in your mind right now that you're thinking that you're tired in that altitude. No, it's really not. If you have been to Denver before and you go up there and you walk around, you be like, "What? What's wrong, man? Why am I breathing so?" And you're just walking. So you imagine, as great as these players are, that all of a sudden you're running full speed up and down. It takes the lungs a little bit of time to acclimate, and that's what happens. It used to happen to me in that first quarter when we played Denver. It's like you go up there and you're going. Guys are gasping for air, and then your lungs in the second half become more efficient.
Oh, okay.
But initially, that's going to be a tough out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they just got a lot of young talents, and that's the kind of team that I feel like has been together long enough that they're ready to make that next stride. So yeah, I put them in the mix as well. Michael Porter Jr. I think is really important for that team as well. I'm really excited to see what this kid's got.
Yeah,
I liked him a lot in college.
Oh gosh, he was like at one time was rated as one of the top players in college. And
he would have been a top pick if he's healthy last year. He's a top pick.
He's come off that the injury to his back, but I saw him play a few games. And I mean, we're talking not a few college games, but more or less some of the All-Star games that he went to and played against. It was like he was a man, and everybody else was like boys. And he was playing against some NBA players, making them look ridiculous. His shot reminded me of Durant, long, athletic, able to get it off against anybody. Found angles, smart. He could be a real. I wouldn't be surprised right now. I'll say this. I think that because he didn't play at all last year, that would be my first choice for Rookie of the Year.
Okay, so you're gonna consider him a rookie?
Rookie of the Year, right. And unless you're talking about Zion. And Zion right now
is good right now.
Zion going crazy,
he's going nuts.
Yeah, but I just can't.
25 point performances, 2 in a row, back to back.
Yeah, but I just want to know how that's going to be in the regular season, because we haven't seen I'm looking at the chart that he had. Everything right there. You can't shoot that in the paint. Every shot that he made, I don't even know if he's made an 18-footer. Everything has been in the paint around the basket. And it will be a little bit more. It'll be different during the regular season.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, how many points do you think he's going to have?
Oh, he's going to average 20. He's going to average over 20 points a game.
Okay.
Just because the numbers of shots, the way they want to try to work him, they're going to work their team in transition. They're going to be fun to watch.
That's going to be a really fun team.
They're going to be a fun team to watch.
My only thing with them is, how do you make that trade without including Kuzma? Like, if I'm starting the conversation with Kyle Kuzma and Lonzo Ball. I know we're months removed.
Well, they got Lonzo Ball.
They got Lonzo Ball, but I'm asking for Kuzma too. Come on, man. You think Brandon Ingram's going to be
a big player? Brandon Ingram was the third player picked in the draft.
He was, but
yeah.
I mean, if you're looking at that roster top to bottom, the first two names I'm saying is Kuzma and Lonzo Ball.
I mean, I think Kuzma had play potentially. What he did, well, not potentially, he played better than Ingram. He did. But I think that Ingram being the third pick in the draft, his explosive ability, intellectually able to play the game at a high level. Also remember that here he is. He was a Duke player too. Mm-hmm. So you're talking about a guy who has played alongside, watching that young man, develop. He has that Duke chemistry in his body.
Yeah.
When you think about all the things that he's been able to watch, so it's going to be an interesting process.
Are the Clippers your clear-cut favorite, or is that just me?
I think that when Paul George comes back, Paul George right now is going to be out. He is doing some kind of shoulder surgery. But when he comes back out, that's going to be a team, boy. They didn't lose. They didn't lose a lot.
No,
and they gained a hell of a lot.
Yeah, they did.
Because they gained maybe right now, arguably, you could say Kawhi Leonard may be the best player right now in the league.
I say that.
I mean, you can
I
really
think he's the
say
best
that.
player, absolutely.
And the thing, I don't look at the Lakers, and I don't mean any animosity, but the Lakers, to me, you're still looking at LeBron James, was the 16th year now? 17th year.
Yeah.
Father Time has not lost yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't care who you are. We saw that with Muhammad Ali, the greatest ever. But Father Time eventually catches up with everybody.
You think this is going to be that year for him?
It has to be a slide. And I think this is the year. I think this is the year that there's going to be a slide. I saw him make a move against the Lakers were playing over there against Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And I saw one of these moves he made. I was like, damn it, that was a slow move. Was that LeBron? And
it's
has he gained
though,
weight?
Man. It's the preseason. Come on, Max. He'll be all right.
I understand, but I just think that,
I don't think he's going for MVP, but he's going to still be LeBron. I just
think, again, that you're talking a whole nother way of rolling. There's no offense.
How do you feel about the rest of the roster? Because I'm not crazy about the bench, but I do think LeBron and Anthony Davis is enough for these guys to be a top 4 team in the West. Is that fair? Maybe top 5. Maybe top 5.
Okay, so when you start talking about top 5, I think it's still teams that you haven't mentioned yet. Did you say anything at all when it came to Utah?
Utah's a top 5 team.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay. You're saying Utah's the top 5 team.
Houston.
Is Portland
Clippers.
a top 5 team?
Clippers.
Is Denver a top 5 team?
I'm going to say Denver's top 5.
Okay, Denver's top 5.
Portland is 6. Portland's
just
just right.
You're dropping Portland now.
I'm going to drop
Portland now. So Golden State's dropped out of there.
You included Golden State, no?
I didn't say Golden State. I didn't say that.
Okay.
I said right now the Clippers. Denver.
Houston.
Utah. Are they in the mix at all?
Utah's top 5.
Okay.
Top
Lakers
5 could be number 6 then.
Okay, well, I'm saying you keep going.
I forgot about Golden State.
Golden State.
This is so much talented teams, man.
There's a lot. It's not going to be a cakewalk when you think about some of those teams out there in the Western Conference, and some of those teams, the ones at the bottom, they're going to be dangerous.
Yeah.
You know, as Phoenix is loaded up on talent. Phoenix they probably won't be a playoff team, but boy, they're gonna hurt somebody from time to time because that's a very talented team.
All right, let's focus on Utah. I'm glad you brought up Utah.
Are you discounting Greg Popovich's teams now?
I'm taking them out of the top 5 this year.
Okay.
For the first time in I don't remember how many years. It's been a while, but they're not in my top 5.
Okay.
But Utah's an interesting team. I love what they added. I think people overlook who Mike Conley is, especially when it matters most. When he's on a team like this, a team that's fighting for a championship, fighting to go deep in the playoffs. He hasn't been on a team like this for a while, Max. You know, those Memphis teams, man, boy, they could. This dude could ball.
Yeah, he can grind.
He has plenty left in the tank.
He can grind. So if you look at him,
and you have a shooter now, we have Bogdanovich is out there now.
Yeah,
just kick and shoot. We know firsthand from watching that Pacers series.
You got the center. You got the center over there.
You got Gobert. You still got Mitchell, who still has plenty of growth.
Mitchell could be one of those top players in the league. And bench, that's gonna be an interesting team to see what they come in. Joe Ingles has always been a shooter. This is a team that has some weapons. So I don't know. Everybody's like, the Lakers and the Clippers. Those are the only teams. Like maybe you must be discounting some of these teams that I've had an opportunity to study and look at.
I just feel like the Lakers are a team that's not going to have a high seed in the Western Conference, but like you said, they could be one of those teams that pulls off an upset, especially in the first round. They could go farther than people would initially expect if you're looking at just their record.
Did you think that the Lakers were not going to make the playoffs last year when they got LeBron?
I did.
You thought they weren't going to make
the playoffs? Yeah,
no, I didn't think that.
I thought if they did make it, they'd be an 8th or 7th seed.
You one of the few people I know that would said the Lakers were not going to make the playoffs last year.
I don't think I was like one. I don't think I was in the minority. Well,
I
I'm probably in the
think you
minority.
were.
I'm in
I
the
think-
minority, but there were people saying that.
There wasn't a lot of people that said
that
that.
young talent and
they
what they
were
had
all,
around
They were
LeBron.
all talking about that young talent, and you add LeBron into the mix. People were like, "Oh my God, Kuzma's going to be better."
Right.
I said Kuzma's going to be, Ingram is going to be
could
better.
be an all-star.
Ball is going to be,
Right.
Ball's going to take over the position. Rondo's going to be a backup.
Yeah, but we all knew that they were looking for Anthony Davis. They were waiting for Anthony Davis, so we knew last
Well,
year
you got
wasn't going to be the year
you
that
got
they're
you got Anthony Davis
put it
and
together.
And the smart thing I think LeBron has done is said, okay, the offense is going to run right now through Anthony Davis. It's not going to run through me.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the first year that we've heard LeBron take a step back.
Yes.
For a while, somebody talked about maybe it was, when he had Kyrie, okay, Kyrie, I'm going to let you do your thing for a while. But never started out with LeBron saying, I'm going to defer to another player on my team because I've always been the greatest player on my team.
It's like when he went to Miami and Dwayne Wade said after that first year, you know what? You got to be the top guy. It can't be me. Mm-hmm. Now he's doing that with Anthony Davis. He's at that point of his career, Yeah. I mean, another thing, too, as well, especially when we're talking about playoff basketball, they're going to see some playoff Rondo, and I'm excited to see what that looks like next to someone like LeBron James, next to Anthony Davis.
This is going to be a thing where Rondo can be. There are times when Rondo, when he's out there on the floor, he can be one of the top players out there. Period. The way he thinks the game, the way he steps up to another level when he plays the game. But then there's that other side of Rondo. And there's that, that movie there, it's out right now, The Joker. There's that dark side of Rondo, which is also out there. And I remember distinctly, it was just weird. I let you guys in on a little something. When this deal was about to be made with the Celtics and Dallas, nobody knew that Rondo was going to be traded except me. I got the news before anybody. The Mavericks actually had one of their scouts reach out to me and ask me my opinion. Said, we're thinking about making this trade for Rondo. What do you think, Max? Oh, wait a minute here.
What'd you say? What's the first thing that came out? That came to mind?
I told him, I said, there are times when Rondo can be the best player on the floor. But then there are other times when Rondo can be the most asinine player on the floor if he wants to. And we've seen both. We saw that when he went to Dallas. When he came here and played against the Celtics, but knocked down 7 trays or something. Something crazy like that.
First game back.
First game back here. But then it went, from then on, it went south. Yeah, with him and Rick Carlisle. Went completely south. Then he went to Chicago. Everybody talked about him there. And it's like, but they liked him. Players liked him. And he performed well.
Especially in the playoffs.
In the
before
playoffs.
he went down.
It went playoffs. Yeah. So, but then we think about him last year with the Lakers. We will always remember him sitting over in some of the fan seats, away from his other teammates, and nobody called him out on it. I mean, we're talking about LeBron James. LeBron James has always been that guy,
Yeah, but LeBron was taking shots at the young guys. LeBron was salty because they didn't trade for Anthony Davis, and he had to wait a year, or at least he had to wait a few more months.
Salty, whatever, but still, if this is your team, and you're the star of this team, are you going to allow another player to show you up like that? No. Wouldn't happen. Shouldn't happen.
I just think this year is different because they're like, okay, we got our guy. We finally have the team. This is the team that we're going to have to go far in the playoffs. I don't think they had that same mentality last year. And say what you want, they shouldn't. Their approach should always be positive. But this is the first time I saw LeBron throughout the season, or at least in a long time, where I saw LeBron in a space where he was just like, you know what? The season's a wash. I'm not getting the guy that I wanted. The trade deadline is come and gone. And then that's when they came to the Garden, and what happened? I felt like he was just mailing it in. He goes to the bench. They make a huge comeback, and that's when Rondo hit the game winner at the end. And then there was like a little happy moment for them. But then the very next game, or throughout that stretch of games afterwards, they got stomped out. It was like LeBron was like, this season, why am I put forth this type of effort where I know how the story's going to end? We're not good enough to top.
But I still believe that even now, as great as LeBron is, and great as he's been for this league, I just think there's going to be a cliffhanger. And you get right to the end of the cliff, either you're going to jump off or you're going to back up. Eventually, the herd's going to push him over. And time has a way of catching up with everybody.
You think there's going to be any drama this year? You think something between
I
Rondo
think there's
and
always,
LeBron?
I always think that when Rondo is in the mix, I think there's always possibilities.
There's potential?
Yeah, he's the smartest dumb guy in the room. And he's my friend. I love him. I would tell him that to his face. But he's the smartest dumb guy in the room. Whereas he will just create situations for no reason.
What happened here? In your opinion, what happened with Rondo and Brad Stevens? And that
nothing happened there. I don't think that anything
that was
happened.
just a decision that Danny
I
decided.
think that Danny just at that point decided to move on because Brad loves a good thinking point guard, and I think it was like that. But you also got to remember that Brad's philosophy is shooting the threes. So we needed somebody who's going to be a more consistent 3-point shooter for his offense. So I don't think it was any bad blood between the two.
I don't think it was bad blood, but you don't think there was anything that happened that made them think, you know what, this guy can't lead this team?
I just think the way the game is played and the way they wanted it played was different than Rondo's skill set. Rondo's skill set is boom, 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 boom. Bring it down, bring it down. I'm going to find somebody to get open. I'm going to make a decision. The way the NBA is now and the way the Celtics are, multiple passes of the ball, swing it around. It does not stop with that point guard. Or if that point guard like Kyrie is going all the way to the basket quick, make a decision. Rondo would pound that ball until he found somebody open. And I just don't think that's the way Brad Stevens' teams wanted to play.
So how does that work? A player like that, a point guard like that, alongside someone like LeBron James and Anthony Davis. How do you share that?
Remember, Rondo played with Anthony Davis.
Right.
When he was down in New Orleans.
When they're in New Orleans, which is
so
he got that team pretty far too.
Yeah, I think that is going to help them, the fact that those two play together. I just think that the way the game is played, eventually that their sets are not going to match up with some of those faster teams right now out west. Those are some, man, you think of Houston's going to be flying.
I can't wait to watch.
Houston is going to be flying with Westbrook. They and Harden.
I believe in these two. I think this is the year they're going to put it together. Well, I think this is it. Westbrook is hungry, man. He's been itching for this for a long time.
Well, I just think hunger and
egos.
Yeah,
that's exactly what this is.
How do you put two of the most egotistical players in the league together to play? And I was the same person that said that about the Dream Team. I didn't think the Dream Team was going to be the Dream Team. I was like, they can't play that well, But what they did, everybody checked their ego at the door. They made a concerted effort to pass the ball, play defense. Well, that happened. James Harden has never really played defense. Westbrook has probably played a lot more defense. But who's going to be the guy who's going to be the second banana? Because is Westbrook a second banana to you? Mm-mm. Is Harden a second banana?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so you got two Indian chiefs, and for a tribe, you only have what?
Just one.
Just one. You and I were talking about that. We laughed. We were talking about your dad. Your dad is what?
He's the only chief.
Yeah, we talk about it's a democracy in most households.
Not the Pavón.
And your dad would say what?
It was a dictatorship. He's gonna kill me when he hears this. But no, man, when he said whatever he said went, and that was it. There was no discussion, no debate, no conversation.
We have no second thoughts. We have no recount of the votes and nothing like that.
No one had to say. No one had to say. He didn't ask for anyone to raise their hand. No.
Anybody got another opinion? No, your mom doesn't. No. That means the kids definitely won't have no opinion.
And then she'll complain to us about it later.
Yeah. We can talk about it later. But right now, no, we gonna. So that's the thing.
You got that one.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I look at the Chiefs. It's like, okay, you got these guys who are Chiefs, but it's like these are the two great players who can they put their egos away to be the super team that everybody's talked about.
What about the super team in Oakland or San Francisco, I should say, the Warriors?
Well, you've changed the dynamics of that team.
Yeah, but you know what you've also done by doing that though. You might wake up a beast in Draymond Green. Now we already seen the beast out of Draymond, but now that he's in this position, no Durant, no Thompson, he's going to come to play. I think this is going to be the best season we've ever seen from Draymond Green.
Well, he's going to have it because I think Steph Curry is going to have a tremendous year, but there's those ancillary pieces that are going to tell the story for Golden State.
How do these two make it work between Steph Curry and D'Angelo Russell? Does he stick around?
D'Angelo Russell, I love D'Angelo Russell.
Everyone assumes that he's a trade piece. Is that fair to say?
I don't know, because if you watched him in Brooklyn, he was pretty damn tough,
especially in the second half. He could go 1 for 7 in the first half, and you're thinking this guy's ice cold, and he'll just drop 19 on you in the third quarter alone.
Pretty tough. I mean, you think about it, and that's the same way. I think Klay Thompson was a lot more efficient in his shooting, because there was many times he didn't have. They put some chart out on him when he scored 50 points, and say he might have dribbled the ball maybe 4 times. So he just boom, 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 boom. It's like, he's coming off these picks and he's just letting it fly. Yeah. Instead of Russell has to put the ball on the floor a little bit sometimes to get some rhythm.
Dribble around a bit.
So I think that it's going to be interesting to see how those two, how he fits into their scheme.
Right, especially when he's not the quote-unquote guy.
Yeah.
When he's the guy, that's when you see those big performances out of him.
Mm-hmm. But I think that, I think the thing that was great about the Warriors to me was the fact that they weren't afraid to let somebody else score, because some nights Mike Thompson would be scoring something crazy, and you look at Steph Curry, he would take a subservient role. So if there's a team out there that is able to do that, that's one of those squads.